Y'all, I've been here since like 10 in the morning. It's currently 9 p.m. and I'm still here. And I'm probably gonna be here till like 11 or 12. Final week. Hey y'all. Okay, I look crazy. I just showered, did my skincare, and today is Sunday. My test is Friday. I'm getting ready, like running around to drive down to Long Island for the week, just because I wasn't able to find like a test center near me here that I could take the test out on Friday. So I had to pick a place in Jersey, and I had to schedule it for 12:30 in the afternoon, and that's an 8-hour test. I wanted to drive to Long Island because then I could Long Island's closer to Jersey than where I go to school. My mom is gonna drive me to Jersey on the morning of the exam. I don't usually like to study Sundays, or if I do study Sundays, I try to keep it light. So for that reason, I'm driving down today, so that tomorrow and Tuesday I can work on studying more. I like the MBMEs because they give you like an idea of where your score is at, but I just feel like a lot of that test is like mental too, because like the morning of my exam, like my original test date, I freaked out and I was on my way to the test center and I just started like panicking and I just didn't sit. And now I'm like doing more or less the same, but I feel more confident going in. So Wednesday, what I'm gonna do is do an NBME, which is like, it's 4 sections, but realistically it's really the equivalent of 5 sections worth of questions because it's 10 questions longer each section. So that's technically gonna be like 5 blocks, and then I'll end it with the MBME free 120. That way I can get a feel of what like it's gonna feel like on the day of the exam, like endurance wise and everything, and like take note of like what point am I getting tired, what point am I getting sleepy, like what point do I need to drink like a Celsius, like were my eyes getting dry, like things that I didn't anticipate, so that on the day of the test I'm not like wasting time like paying attention to little things that may be bugging me. Thursday, I know people say don't study the day before. I would like to say that that's the plan, but just knowing me, I might still try to do a little something. It's not gonna be anything too crazy, probably Anki, and like go over my notes. And then at nighttime, I'll probably try to get dinner with like a friend or something, go to sleep early, wake up and start the show. Yeah, definitely pray before every day this week, because there's only one way I'm gonna make it through. At least that's what I believe for my own life. And yeah, no filters on this life right now. Okay, see y'all later. Morning, guys. It's 7:46 right now. I'm talking. Y'all, I can't lie to you. This morning, I'm struggling. I need to get it together because, wow, like, I just need to pull myself together for 2 more days. I just need to get through. Well, technically for 3 days, because Wednesday is going to be the fake test day. It's going to be the mock test date. But I have to put, like, all my intensity into these next 2 days because this is the last chance I have to learn something new. All right, guys. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Guys, it's like 10 right now. The library closed, and I've been here since like 8:30. So I think it's time for me to call it a night anyway. Got some good studying done. We'll see if it reflects on Wednesday. I really don't have that much to say, and I'm really tired, but that's the update for right now. Morning, guys. It's Tuesday. It's like 8:30. I was supposed to be at school at 8, but you know, the bed had a hold on me this morning. Pretty much same thing today. This video is they're probably not gonna be that crazy, but just being real. Wake up, go to school, study, go home. Wake up, go to school, study, go home. Thursday, it's the day before my test. I know they say like don't study too hard, and honestly I did study like OD the day before my last test, and I think it made me more anxious. So I think this time I'm gonna try to like chill at least at nighttime. All right, talk to you guys later. 11:36 or something. I left school at like 11, and today was work. The amount of Anki I hadn't seen in so long that I did today, like the bacteria sketchy Anki, I hadn't touched that. Maybe not a lot for other people, but for me it was a lot. It's the most I've done in a while. It was like 665, something like that. And then on top of that, I like was still like watching videos, learning concepts, fighting with ChatGPT to understand like the pathophys behind like toxins and like all these things. So everything that I got done plus Donkey, I'm happy with, but tomorrow we will see. Tomorrow we will really see. I'll record more tomorrow. I'm really tired. My pinky hurts and I'm like holding this up with my arm. So okay. I'm gonna go shower. Love you guys. Good morning, kings and queens. Okay, so this is the plan for today. Go to Trader Joe's, get 2 of everything. I could use it once today for my practice day, and then obviously for the real day. I'm probably gonna come home after Trader Joe's real quick just to put like the refrigerated whatever stuff in the fridge. 12, I'll go to school, be sat, get my test, everything, start the test at 12:30, just like I would on the day of. I think I'm just gonna do the 2 U-roll blocks. Like, ain't no point in doing a whole extra block if I don't need to be honest. Plus the free 120 really is like, me and the free 120 are not friends. That thing kicked my butt. The first time I took it was like literally 2 days before my test, and it scared me. So it scared me because the test before, the day before, wasn't even that bad. If I would have gotten the same exact score twice, I would have just taken the test. Like, we'll see what happens. I am trusting in God, because if it were up to me, I would freak myself out. And I would just, you know, delay. I'm never ready enough. No. I'll try to record more today, because before I get completely shot by this test and I can't have energy to record anymore, just a little come along with me type of energy vibes. See y'all later. Ew, my see y'all laters have been so bad. Wait, no, you can't force it. See y'all later. It's the Trader. Yeah. Also, shout out to you if you know which one this is. I got my mama bear some little flowers. It's a little something. She knows when I have a whole job again, I'll hold it down. On my way home. On my way. Hey guys, I'm interrupting this video to do a little bit of like narration, because that week was honestly pretty hectic and I wasn't able to record like all the parts of every day that I would have liked to. Basically what happened after I took that practice test on Wednesday, I didn't end up doing my original plan of doing the NBME and then following up with the blocks. It's because I did end up taking like an older NBME, and I honestly didn't do as well as I had on the previous 2. Honestly, to be completely transparent, I failed it. Not by a lot, but I did fail it, which concerned me, and I kind of just needed some time like by myself to just, like, I guess like refocus and like personally, as if you haven't been able to tell by this video yet, speak to God about it. But after that, I just kind of refocused. I was like, no, I can still do this. And I just pinpointed like what areas I needed to work on the hardest. I already told my school that I would be sitting for the exam, because I had to let them know with at least a week's notice, so that the rotation coordinator could like make the changes necessary for the following week, like if I wasn't going to be sitting. So I'm also a person who doesn't like to go back on their word when they say something. Basically, that day was a little bit like hard for me. And then tomorrow's clip, you'll see like a little bit of me studying in the morning, but I also did end up taking the free 120 at nighttime. Maybe it wasn't what anyone else would recommend, but I just wanted to like redo a test again and know that I had improved. Unfortunately, I completely forgot that the free 120 doesn't give you a score at the end. So I literally finished that test around like 9 something at night, and then it just took me back to like the starting page, and I was like, what just happened? Even while taking the test, I felt more confident. Like I felt like I knew the answers. Honestly, I don't think that's saying a lot, because the practice exams that I've taken prior that I didn't feel as bad on, I didn't do as great as I thought, and then ones that I thought I did worse on, I ended up doing better on. I really wasn't sure, but again, like my faith is really what kind of just was like, you know what, I'm gonna go in there. Didn't record Friday because again, it was like a little bit hectic. I'm gonna like cut this video into 2 and then insert it after Thursday. But yeah, insert that clip here. Okay, I'm gonna continue the story and then at the end I'll do the reveal for the score. I can only speak about like my personal experience, and I understand like that's not everyone's experience, but I'm just sharing my own. Basically, one thing I had been telling myself is like, no, God has never let me fail to this point, so he won't let me fail now. I never failed any units, so I really was convicted. The morning of the exam, I woke up, it was like 8 or 9. The night before, like I said, I had told myself, no, like God has never let me fail before, he's not gonna let me fail now. And I woke up to a text message from a friend who I didn't say any of this to, and was like, good luck today, God has never let you fail before, so he's not gonna let you fail now. And this friend isn't necessarily even like Christian or someone that I talk about these things with, so I took that as confirmation. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it even though my last test was a fail and I didn't even get a score yesterday. I'm just gonna believe. My mom drove me to Jersey, right? I'm starting to get nervous a little bit now, but I was just doing some Anki in my mom's car real quick before going in. So I was like, okay, I'll get down at 12. I go in the building. I just been using my phone all day and I can't remember the last time my phone asked me for my password. It literally never does that. And even when it does, I'm able to type it in no problem. I get upstairs to the test center and all of a sudden I can't remember my password because the one that I'm thinking that is my password isn't working. And I lock my phone for 15 minutes. And at this point, it's about to be like, 12:15. I was waiting online and I kept trying. You know, it takes a couple tries to get locked up to 15 minutes. And my scheduling ID number is on my phone only through my school email. So I'm like, oh my God. I know they say to print it, but like, I just didn't. I was like, my phone's charged enough. Bro. So I literally start to be like, okay, don't panic because panicking is not going to help. And I end up going back downstairs. I try to see if my mom is still there just so that maybe I can use her phone to call like Apple or I don't know, to see what can be done. So I go back downstairs. My mom is still there, thankfully. And she's like, I just felt like I shouldn't leave until 12:30. I called Apple, but at the same time I'm like trying to figure out like what some solution is because Apple's taking forever. And also I should mention that my school's email has like this additional like factor that you have to do, that you have to like verify that it's you trying to sign in from another app. The only option when you lock your phone and you can't remember your password is to reset your entire phone and delete everything. Once you get rid of the verification app, I have to call my school's IT company to like help me set it up again. So already, bro, I have 15 minutes by the time I get back downstairs. I don't have the time to call my school's IT, reset this whole thing, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, one of two things is gonna happen. I'm gonna end up getting this all done after 12:30 and hoping that these people will still let me sit even if I start late. Or two, I'm gonna be able to figure something out in the next 15 minutes, which honestly didn't sound very realistic. So I ended up deleting my entire phone because one thing about me, even if you tell me it's not likely, I'm still gonna try. I don't know, I don't give up that easy. Like my advisor, when she saw my 2 passing scores, they weren't like super high like or anything like that. And she was like, I don't know if I would advise that you sit. But honestly, I also have ADHD, and the way I studied for every single other unit exam in my school, which is really bad, and I'm working on changing my study methods, but literally my whole life I just have made it a habit to study a day or a few days before the exam. With med school, no way you're getting it done in a day alone. But even then, I wouldn't really start studying for my unit exams until like a few days before the exam, which is super bad and probably why I was like scared for some of these. But I was like, honestly, there's still like 4 days left. Like that's a lot of time for me to learn so much. I was like, I respect your advice. I know it's like backed by a lot of years of experience, but I still would like to try. So I was like deleting all the stuff off my phone. I downloaded my email app and I was like, this might be a long shot, but I'm gonna just try to log in anyway. I was able to get into my email without the verification app, and I was able to get access to my code. So I went back upstairs and I was like back at the desk by like around 12:30ish. And then I was like, I have the scheduling number. They still let me sit and like security, everything. I started the test. The first 3 or 4 blocks were fine. Like they say, oh, the question stems are super long. They are super long, I'm not gonna lie. But I was like, you know, pacing myself and all that stuff. Keep in mind, I started this test like 12:45. Okay, towards the last couple blocks, it was already getting to be like maybe 6-7 p.m. I was getting tired, and these questions are so long. Like, it was just a lot. And I started also like second guessing myself a lot, like going back and rereading questions, making sure that I put down the answer that I wanted, which I know they say don't do that on test day, but I did it anyway. And then I ended up running out of time on the last 3 sections. I didn't even get to read the vignette for like a total of about 8 questions. And I just ended up clicking random letters, like for answer choices. And I was like trying so hard, like after each block to be like, just don't think about that last one. This one will be different. Just don't think about that last one. This one will be different. But the last 3, like I missed questions on all of them. So by the time I left, it was almost 9 p.m. And I was also falling asleep. So I was like trying to hold my breath to like activate my sympathetic nervous system so that I could like wake back up and finish this test. So it was like definitely towards the end, a struggle to say the least. And I left that test center feeling pretty bad. And my mom saw me and she was like a little worried, and I didn't want her to see me like cry or anything. She was like, oh, how did it go? And I was like, honestly, I just don't want to talk. So you guys see the meme where you like look out the window and you're like crying, or you're like thinking, like that was low-key me. I'm not even gonna lie. I was like, damn, like, dang, like what did I do? Why did I think I could do that? Like, maybe like for a unit exam, it wouldn't have been like as big of a risk, but honestly, if you fail step 1, I personally don't think that anything in life is like so bad you can't bounce back from. That's just my personal attitude towards everything. I know that some people are like, oh my God, like if this happens, like it's really, yeah, things are really bad, but nothing is so bad you can't bounce back from. And like, honestly, some of the most like admirable people are people who have bounced back from some of the worst things. So at the end of the day, I knew it wasn't the end of the world if I failed, but I also knew how much harder my life was gonna be realistically if I wanted to do something competitive and I failed step 1. So I was just like, I was unwell, I'm not gonna lie. I was freaking out the whole night, but then I honestly, again, just to bring it back to my personal beliefs, in order to get myself back in a state of like calm, like I just started reading the Bible and like reminding myself of who God has been to me at this point. And I was like, honestly, even if I fail, I really believe that God is great enough to help me get to where I need to get to regardless. And I like, there's also a verse that says like, you literally can't add a day to your life by worrying about things. So leave it in God's hands. So I literally was like, you know what? I have 2 weeks to go, and I'm not gonna like spend them freaking out and stuff like that. I'm just gonna like, there's nothing I can do at this point, you know? And I went in there believing, not even in myself, like in God. So at this point, it's literally in his hands. So I just went through those 2 weeks, wasn't thinking about it too much. Then the reveal day came, and that's where I'm gonna leave it. I'm not gonna say too much. I'm gonna drop it here, and then I'll come back after. So I opened my results, and you guys could see I got like a little emotional. I passed step 1. I don't know how. I tell people and they're like, oh, I knew you were gonna pass. I don't know. And I'm like, I didn't know it was gonna pass. It did not go how I thought. Oh, I felt awful. Like, I know everyone feels awful, but not everyone runs out of time on 3 whole sections and misses that many questions. So I literally was just so grateful to God because, like, you know, despite like the odds, despite people telling me like, oh, I don't think you should sit and all these things, like, God still came through again. I'm not saying this like to convince anyone of anything, but I personally cannot ignore that, you know, things turn out the way that they do when I put my trust in God. So that is how my week went. Honestly, I feel like that whole process was hard enough that it has shaken me to want to change like my discipline and my commitment to studying on a regular basis. And I'm just grateful, and I don't want to keep putting myself in a position to like, I'm that close to risking what I've worked towards and the places I've been allowed to get to up till now. But yeah, that was my video on how my week for step 1 went. It was a lot more probably personal than my other videos, but I honestly can't keep it real with you guys without talking about that. So I appreciate you guys so much. I'm gonna try to keep posting videos about like my experiences in rotation and all that stuff, because honestly, med school videos that are out there are very idealistic, and if you are somebody who has struggled, can make you feel really bad about yourself. And I really don't like when people feel bad about themselves, because life is hard enough as it is. Like, honestly, a lot of like how you do in life has to do with how you're brought up, with the habits that you have. Like, it's not like either you're smart or you're dumb, which is how a lot of people want to portray it, especially in the med school culture. It's not either you're smart or you're dumb. It's either you have good habits or you don't, or you have resources or you don't. Like, the smart thing is obviously a factor, but you know, it's so much more than that. So I hope that these videos can help to who have been struggling or who are like, you know, stressed, that there's still hope. You can still make it, and yeah, we're in this together. All right, love you guys so much. I'll talk to you guys later.